The Knicks got a dominant Game 1 win last night, and it started with a really interesting chess match all centered around one play that the Sixers kept running for Tyrese Maxey. Here's the first example of the play. It's a simple double drag setup where Maxey throws it to Embiid and then chases back after it for a handoff. But look at the coverage from New York. Brunson is jumping out to jam Maxey, trying to give Deuce time to recover to him. So with two guys on Maxey, Grimes can just slip out to three, and that's a great look. He just missed it. Now the next time they run this play, instead of throwing it to Embiid, Maxey keeps the ball in his hands. Again, Brunson looks like he's in a hedge, so Tyrese splits the defenders and draws a foul. So 2 times they've run this play, and 2 times the Sixers have gotten good stuff. Now watch the adjustment from New York. It's the same setup, but a couple of things are different. First, notice Brunson is now guarding Oubre. So if Philly wants Brunson in the action, Oubre also has to be in it. And now watch the coverage change. No hedge from Brunson here. Deuce fights through and blows up that handoff, and this all turns into a Kelly Oubre pick and roll. The Knicks are cool with that, and it ends in a turnover. This one's where it gets really interesting. We get a bad camera angle to start here, but we can see they just ran the same play, and this time the Knicks change everything again. With no Oubre on the floor, Brunson's back on Grimes. He does hedge, and Maxey's seen this before. He knows Grimes is the read, but Hart's seen it before too, reacts well, and jumps the pass for a great steal. So mixing up the coverages against Maxey was a great decision. Will they send the hedge or not? Philly's spamming this play, no hedge comes, and this time it's Bridges sticking like glue to Tyrese to blow up the handoff, and again it ends up with an isolation from a role player, and the Knicks can live with the result. Okay, now let's see the small adjustment from Philadelphia on these. And remember, Josh Hart was the corner defender when he jumped the pass for that steal. Well, this time the Sixers changed the spacing. There's nobody in that corner, and I think the idea is that if the Knicks hedge, which they do, Grimes' slip should be there. Maxey doesn't quite have the angle to make the pass, and Embiid wants to throw this, but I think he sees OG helping here and gets spooked, and again, the play's blown up. So I thought the Knicks did a great job taking away that action, but this is the next part of the game plan that I want to cover, is they sent really aggressive help. Watch this play. Side pick and roll for Maxey, aggressive ball pressure from Bridges, and Towns is up pretty high in his drop, so Maxey hits Embiid early, but look at the help. Brunson's pulled way over off of Oubre in the middle of the paint. Hart's rotating off of Edgecombe, so instead of allowing Embiid to get to work at the elbow, they're forcing him to make a decision, and I think he misses VJ here, who could either shoot or attack off the catch. Towns has time to recover, and Embiid misses. We can see more of New York's game plan here, where this time it's a middle pick and roll. Maxey comes off, and again, New York sends an extra helper off of Oubre, and Maxey's checking for the corner skip, but I think he should be checking this corner for George, and instead he settles for a pull-up. So I thought the Knicks put a big emphasis on 1, loading to the ball, but 2, whoever's guarding Oubre can help off pretty freely to force Philly stars to make decisions rather than get good shots off. Even here, Maxey's man falls down, so immediately Deuce takes him. Mitch can sink down off of Oubre, so Kelly's open, but Maxey doesn't make the pass till it's way too late, and that's a turnover. It'll be interesting if Maxey and the other Sixer stars can read this help a bit earlier next game and find the open man, but this aggressive help definitely took away some of their bread and butter last night. Embiid's posting up here, but OG has Oubre in the corner and can come way over to discourage that pass, and this ends up in an isolation and a really tough bucket by George, but that's not exactly what the Sixers want. And speaking of Embiid's post-ups, I thought there was another really interesting chess match on these. Watch this from early in the game. Embiid has it, and we see OG sinking down about to double, and notice he's the man 2 passes away, so that's where the Knicks want to send the double from, and watch him wait to commit until this first dribble. Now he goes, and this was a nice job from Philly to beat the double, but now we know New York wants to double from 2 passes away on the first dribble. So let's go later in the game with that idea in mind. It's a similar situation, and Bridges is the man 2 passes away. He's saying something to OG here, but as Embiid dribbles, Mikhail's like, oh damn, I gotta get there, I'm late. But this is another missed read from Embiid, trying to hit the corner when I think he probably had Maxey. Now this one's really fun, and we get to see the chess match. Mikhail's 2 away again, so he's gonna double, but look at the Sixers re-spacing here. Edgecombe cuts through, but OG has to stay with the 1 away pass, so Brunson rotates to VJ. Now Embiid Embiid has it again on the repost, so Brunson sends the double, and Embiid scores anyway there, but that's a great look at the strategy from both sides. Now, so far, these have all been possessions with Towns guarding Embiid, but this time it's Mitchell Robinson, and look at the Knicks. Yes, they're showing help, but no double team ever comes, and I think New York is going to trust Robinson to guard him straight up on these, where for Cat, they're going to send those doubles. So I thought the Knicks played great defense all game, and their strategy was definitely interesting, but real quick, let's take a look at two concepts the Knicks use really well within their offense. It's a sideline out of bounds play here. They enter it to Cat, and notice this 45 cut from Bridges. This is a concept that's littered throughout the Knicks offense, and watch why they want to empty that wing. As Brunson comes back to the ball, he can choose to use the screen, but when he rejects it, he has this whole wing to himself, and he is one of the toughest one-on-one covers in the league. He will take that shot every time. It's the same play here, and this time his jab makes George think he wants the screen, but he actually just wants the space created by the cut, and he does his thing again for another jumper. So they're using that cut off the sideline out of bounds play there, but they use it in their regular pick and rolls too. As Brunson drives towards Hart, that triggers him to cut, and Brunson has more space to dance, but this time he catches Maxey asleep at the wheel and dots the corner for a three. Now let's go back to earlier in the game where the Knicks just scored off this sideline out of bounds play, so Edgecombe knows it's coming this time and doesn't let Brunson get the ball back on the handoff, so Brunson cuts through instead, and Embiid reacts to his cut just a little bit, but that is enough space for Towns to fire. So the other concept I really like for the Knicks is that even if their handoffs get blown up, they can still get good stuff because of who Cat is. Here's another great example of that. They're looking for Bridges on the handoff, but Grimes blows it up, it turns into a curl, and again, Embiid reacts to that cut, so Towns could shoot this again, but instead he's anticipating Edgecombe helping. He does, so Towns hits the corner, and Hart can attack that closeout, and he scores on the layup. Towns had 6 assists in this one, and Philly definitely needs to be more prepared for these actions where he's the hub. This is just a breakdown where Brunson sets the flex screen for OG, both defenders go to the cutter, so now Brunson's open on the pop, attacks, and gets the and one to fall. This time it's OG setting the screen for Alvarado. The Sixers don't want to switch this, but VJ can't get through the screen, and Oubre should probably help here but doesn't, and it's the easiest 2 of the night. So in game 1, Philly kind of ran into a buzzsaw on both ends of the floor. The Knicks had a great plan for stopping Maxey. They protected Brunson from getting hunted, made Maxey think on the fly by switching up coverages, and then against Embiid, Towns played him well first of all, but also got some nice help on those nicely timed doubles. On the other end, New York seemed to get pretty much whatever they wanted, and with some of the shots they were making, it just might have been their night. But that is going to do it for today's video. Remember to subscribe. We are trying to hit 30K subs before the end of the season. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.